Hello folks and welcome back. In the previous mission we took back the province of Scion from the Zerg. Unfortunately, right at the end of the mission, Fenix's position was overrun in Antioch, and we saw a short cinematic showing what happened to Fenix as well. So in the next mission we will see the Conclave's response to this turn of events in the hunt for Tassadar. So, the Zerg hive cluster near the Scion province was destroyed, but the Praetors paid a high price for their victory. Praetor Fenix, hero and steward of the Templar, was killed during the assault. The Conclave, convinced that its stratagems of winning the war against the Zerg, have let down their guard and turned their attention to personal matters. The Judicator Aldaris was ordered to find and arrest the wayward Tassadar and bring him home to stand trial for his crimes of treason. Now, with only a small fleet for protection, Aldaris and the Executor have travelled to the ash world of Char, hoping that Tassadar is still somewhere to be found. So, Praetor's command ship Gantrathor orbiting over Char.
I know that you were reluctant to leave Ire in this dark hour, and that you still grieve for the loss of your comrade Fenix. But remember that he lived and died as a Templar. He has reached the Kala's end. There is no greater glory than that. We Judicator are called to look beyond such matters, to ensure the safety and future of our people. It is not the Zerg, but the rogue Tassadar, who represents the greatest threat to us now. If he is allowed to spread the Dark Templar's tainted influence to Ire, all will be lost. We will find him and bring him to judgment. Tassadar claimed that this world was abandoned by the Zerg just prior to the invasion of Ire. Yet I still sense a lingering darkness here. Be prepared for anything, Executor. If there are still Zerg on this world, then they must surely know of our arrival.
There we go. There's quite a few interesting sort of plot points you could pick up there, and almost some subtext as well. Obviously, with the Judicator quite happily saying, "No, it's fine. Fenix died. He'll have been happy to have died." Kind of how much obviously the Praetors are a noble warrior. This almost stereotypical noble warrior race to some extent, but I'm sure there's quite an interesting sort of analysis there in looking at how casually the upper class, the Judicators, kind of dismiss the deaths of the Templar. Now, it seems very, very inward for them to be so like, oh no, the Zerg, they're not a great threat, it's Tassadar that's a big threat with a Dark Templar, and that is very much the case. But one thing that's again, this is one of those games where actually reading the manual before you played the game is quite useful. The Praetors had an aeon of strife, a series of very horrible conflict, a civil war between their various tribes, and that was ended when Kars created something called the Kala, which was a psionic kind of gestalt that links all Praetors. The Dark Templar refused to be part of this, and unfairly were hunted down and sort of persecuted by the Kali Praetors. But these Kali Praetors had this fear that these Dark Templar would take the Praetors back to that era where they were infighting. So we'll see how that plot thread develops, but I think without further ado, it's time to get on with the mission. So we need to find Tassadar and bring him to the beacon. Okay, and here we go. So we've got the Psionic Storm ability now, which we have access to from the High Templar. So I've just quickly restarted this mission because I wasn't quite happy with how I sort of started it off. But that's going to be Control Group 1, that's going to be Control Group 2, and I'm going to do a quick save as well. These also have the hallucination ability, which can be useful. Just realised I turned the sound off. There we go. And they have the Psionic Storm, which is a very powerful ability. But I'm going to try and be sort of cautious with how I use it, because they've not got a lot of energy. They've got about 3 storms in a row. Now they will recharge that energy, but it's not the fastest process. So let's see if we can pull this Hydralisk away on his own. Took that Dragoon a while to react to that. And then there's another one that's going to pop up, which we can quickly take out. Now we want to try and keep as many shields as possible. Now one thing I do know is up the ramp here there are some burrowed zerg, so I'm actually going to take the opportunity to storm them. Now I'm hoping that will hit them. I think he's going to go up the ramp and get himself attacked, so that's fine. That's the problem with attacking up the high ground. We will have problems with vision there, but if we bring these close, we might be able to pull them down the ramp and storm there. Okay, I'm happy with that. So you can see that's done a ton of damage there. Took a bit of damage on one zealot, but I think we can deal with that. Now what we can see here is a sunken colony. Now I'm wondering if I can actually get my dragoons up here and get them. I wonder if they're going to have the range to attack from that angle. I don't think they will. Either way, we can always attack and pull them back when they start to take damage. So can you? Right, yeah. I also have to wonder if we can bypass it. Now I don't want to move too far in because there could easily be zerg. In fact, we might be able to just sort of sneak around it.
You think as I do?
No, maybe not.
Awaiting instructions.
Now one thing I do wonder is, are there zerglings burrowed, or anything really, burrowed near these sunken colonies as well? Yeah, okay. Now how far down are they going to come? Is the next question. And can we in fact just storm them? So that's done a substantial amount of damage there. I think we should follow that up. Going to do lots of saves because obviously we've got limited forces on this mission so far. We'll get a base later in the mission. Nope. Always attack move if you can. The High Templar do not have any kind of attack. They actually did in the original version, in like an earlier version of the game, a pre-release version of the game, and it shows them in the manual still having an attack, but they decided to remove that. Some of the hero Templar do actually have it though. So what I want to see is, are there any zerg? Now this is definitely a storm scenario, but I'm going to let their AI drag them back and rally, and we need to keep this guy nearby definitely, because he will make mincemeat of the zerglings. Now where did they burrow? That's the one. So those zerglings fell very quickly to that. Now let's get a healthier. Let's get a healthier zealot in the front. Keep this guy in the back. Take out that zergling. That dragoon's gonna. There we go.
I long for combat.
So we're gonna have to deal with another engagement like that. Although we might actually be able to sneak around here. Let's see, what kind of colony are we talking there? Sunken colony and another zergling. Although I think we can deal with that zergling. I have to wonder, can we get through this way? Or is either way particularly better? Now I'm going to push in with this guy and see if there's any more zerglings, or is it just the one that we saw? Zoom in on the High Templar there. Quick look at him. Right. Yeah, so there's a few zerglings. Do not want to lose that dragoon, so I'm going to cycle this back round. And I think it might actually be prudent to try and push in. Definitely want that dragoon to be very far back. Unfortunately lost that one. Probably would have been a good place for a storm, actually. We can always go back if we've lost too much there, although I don't think that would be the case.
My path is set. It shall be done.
Do not want you him in the front lines.
I heed thy call.
Now, if I didn't know any better, I'd think there was probably going to be some zerg down here. So let's see if we can see. Yeah. Get that dragoon back. Okay. I'm quite happy with that, actually. I don't think we're actually very far from the base, so I am going to save. I think we can afford the loss of one dragoon. There's probably an argument to be made that you could probably, for the most part, just run through, but those zealots aren't doing anyone any good there. Right, now we are going to have to probably run that. We could storm, just to be vindictive. I think that was probably a wasted storm then. I think I've done this before, and you can pretty much attack move through, but do not want to lose the High Templar there. There we go. Right, we are at the we're at Tassadar's base. So here we go. And look, who's this?
Aldaris, Executor, how is it that you've come here? I was about to abandon all hope of rescue.
I have come to arrest you and bring you home to Ire to stand trial.
Arrest me? Ire burns at the touch of the zerg. You travel all this way to arrest me?
Don't let it get to you, man. This happened to me once.
Who is this human, Tassadar?
The name's Jim Raynor, pal, and I won't be talked down to by anybody. Not even a Protoss.
Amusing. Tassadar, your taste in companions grows ever more inexplicable. Executor, prepare to take Tassadar into
Executor,
custody.
wait. I do not know what they have told you about me. But what I have done for Ire. Help me find Zeratul and his Dark Templar. They alone can defeat the overrun Cerberus. Once we have won, I shall gladly submit myself to the judgment of the Conclave.
Unthinkable. You presume that we would side with the Dark Ones as you have? You have gone quite mad, Tassadar.
You shall speak of them with respect, Aldaris. Executor, there is much that I can explain to you. If only you'll help me find Zeratul.
So, this is one of those occasions where there's sort of almost implied to be a choice. Oh, I'll let that. So we're going to have to, yeah, it's not going to be a simple case of just walking back. They've put a few barriers in the way. It's one of these times in the campaign where it's sort of... Oh, wow. No, not even time to have a quick... Right, now I do not want to take much damage on him at all because I cannot repair it. It's one of those times where they seem to have implied that there is some sort of choice. There's really not. You are going to be allying with Tassadar. Now, I mentioned earlier that Protoss High Templar originally did have an attack. He has got the Scion attack. I'm going to put him in group 2 as well. So we've got a group of High Templar. Now, what we don't want to do is press Psionic Storm with all 3 at the same time, because then all 3 will storm the same place. Generally, the technique you're supposed to use, although not the best at using it, is clone... Ah, right, okay. He can't actually effectively be in that group. Probably because he doesn't have the Archon ability.
Yes, Executor?
So that's going to have to be a separate control group. So I'm actually going to quickly show you that, and then so what you do is you put 2 doing a storm there, and then you put the second. You deselect, and have a second one ready to do the storm there. Instead of resetting, I'm just going to save the... I'll try and use that technique so you can see it later in the mission. Now we are definitely going to need to build some sizable ground forces. We're also going to want to look at getting some Vespene actually. We're doing okay for minerals, but Vespene is a sticking point for us. And let's get a cyber core. We've got a forge, so we can build, well, we can build photon cannons. Yep, got an attack coming in. So we should be able to take that out.
This is Jimmy.
Ah, that was the Zerg spawn broodling being used against us. I think I showed that in one mission. That's just unnecessary. Fortunately, the AI does not spawn broodling your heroes. Mechanically, it's possible to do that, which gives you some hilarious assassination options in later campaigns. But no, they will not use them against your units. Right? I think we need some dragoons. I think we need a lot more probes.
Not enough minerals.
We're going to need quite a few dragoons to deal with those queens.
Anytime you're ready.
In fact, may as well use the spider mines.
This should be good. Sounds fun.
And we'll put one over there. Now hopefully I can shift Q and he'll come back after laying that spider mine. Let's get another dragoon going.
I have returned.
Yeah.
I heed thy call.
Rainer here.
I'm trying to see what buildings we get access to. We do not get the shuttle yet. We'll get the Templar archive, which will allow us to build High Templar, which won't be a bad thing. Also, 2 High Templar can merge to make an Archon. Now, I believe the 4 there is quite deceptive, because while it takes 4 supply, you lose the 2 High Templar, so effectively it's a 0 supply cost, I believe. Let's get a weapon upgrade. Let's get another probe while we can. Should definitely get the Dragoon line of sight range upgrade. So I'm going to put the probe into production first, and while that second probe is building, we should end up with enough resources to do this research.
There we go. Warriors have engaged the enemy.
So one of the spider mines did its job there. Of course. So the AI in the first 2 campaigns is a lot more passive. Or maybe not the first 2 campaigns, but seems to prioritise. That's odd. I would have expected it to spawn broodling on those dragoons. Let's definitely get some more dragoons in the queue anyway. That range upgrade will be great. Gonna stick these zealots at the ramp. I think in that case I'm going to stick to building dragoons, because I can't be sure, but it felt like they didn't actually want to. There's also an argument to be made for building a load of scouts, because the Queen cannot spawn broodlings on scouts. She also cannot spawn broodlings on the Archons. She can on the High Templar, but not on the Archons. Now what we have the option to do is actually send out some scouts, so I want a reasonably fast unit to do that, so I might wait until I've got the legs upgrade on the Zealot. Citadel of Ardoon is a C. Because then if I hallucinate a Protoss with the legs upgrade, I can use it as a sort of a fast scout. In the meantime, lots of dragoons, I think.
Upgrade complete.
And once we've got the Citadel of Ardoon, we can also build the Templar archives, so we can get High Templar too. I think some more probes. Definitely some more dragoons. We're going to need additional pylons. Gonna stick these down here.
Upgrade complete.
Let's get another pylon. Let's get the legs movement. We've got quite a lot of gas to work with, although I'm sure that will change very quickly. Templar archives. We can afford those shortly too. I'm going to get another probe. We're okay for pylons at the moment, although I'll want to get some more soon. I'm going to stick some dragoons over here as well to cover this entrance. And I'm very much considering getting a photon cannon or two back here as well, just to prevent that kind of aggression we had before. Another probe. We're probably going to be saturated on minerals very soon, if we're not already actually. Let's get the... So we need the Templar archives also to get the higher level upgrades. Let's get the other weapon actually. So these get +2. These also get +2.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
I think actually it'd be good to have some. Yeah, the Queen seems to be prioritising the zealots, which is unexpected. Right. I say unexpected. So we can get additional Templar energy there, which probably... Ah, there we go. Yeah, the Queen is now broodling, using her broodlings against the Protoss. I think a Stargate is a good shout, so we can get some scouts. And those scouts will be able to defend against those queens quite nicely. Massive resource drain though, the queens. Have these got the legs upgrade yet? Right, I'm going to hallucinate those. And I'm going to send these as scouts to see what we can see, because I wouldn't mind finding another mineral patch. Meanwhile, so you can see we're not just going to be running our forces down there. That's a fairly hefty set of defences as well. Okay. Let's get a scout. Yeah, it's 50 Vespene for a Dragoon.
How may I help?
Now what is tempting is to take one of these Templar and storm where those Zerglings were, just so that's one less thing to get through.
Upgrade complete.
You can see High Templar, very gas heavy, like most casters are. Ah, interesting. No, I do not want to... that was a waste. I'm actually going to replace that one. We'll send Tassadar down, just because he can tank a bit more damage, and he won't get broodlinged as well, which is nice.
Yes, Executor?
I am going to build another gateway. And we are going to need some more pylons. He should be able to get out there. I don't know if it's worth, but no, we've not got enough gas to be able to justify the hallucination spell too. So,
it shall be done.
Let's see if you can see. So you can see pretty much wipe those out.
It shall be done.
I'm going to get another scout. We'll build some zealots in the meantime. There's a possibility to push up here actually and see if that's a position we can take. That can be control group 1. Gonna build some zealots as sort of vanguard there. Now what I want to do is see if I can stick near this top corner, stick these scouts and have them to defend against the incoming queens. Don't want the Templar. You guys come here. Let's get another dragoon. Some more zealots.
Make use of me. Receiving. For vengeance. Commencing. Mitora. Commencing.
And actually, I'm going to bring Tassadar down. So we've got his storms available. It's just going to be a case of babysitting him to make sure he doesn't get killed.
My life for hire.
He can actually contribute his attack, although it's not got a very long range. So I'm going to put you as control group 2. And we'll have these High Templar as... Let's have 4, because Tassadar is 3.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
It would have been nice if there was an expansion down there. What's going on over here? Get another scout out. Definitely get some forces over here. And these can come over here.
How may I help?
Lost a zealot there. Not sure if I was to a broodling or not.
I hear you.
Probably a bit overzealous with the storm there. Now, here we go. There's a target if ever I saw one. Now, if I get this just right, we'll kill quite a lot of them. And they weren't actually really reacting, which is, again, nice. Yeah, there's another broodling. No, she's not. He's not going to be able to get that. There might actually be an opportunity to get Rainer through. I don't know. Once that ensnare's gone, you guys attack move. See if you can get that Hydralisk. I'm actually going to take Rainer down as well, because I think we've got an opportunity to push through to the end.
How may I help?
Oh no, hallucination is L. There we go. Let's see. What happens if I run these two down?
My life for hire.
So a load of mutalisks there, although that's not too much of a concern.
I have returned.
I thought there might be some sunken colonies along the way.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
A lot of... right. I think that's a situation where a few Templar...
I am needed.
So actually, I think we can probably push to the end there.
Yes, Executor. Tarakala.
Anytime you're ready.
Let's put you in control... Oh, no, I just wanted Jim in control of Group 0.
Instructions. My life for
Go ahead,
hire.
Commander.
So if we do, for some reason, very quickly need to select Rainer, we've got the opportunity to do so.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Get that Zealot, that Dragoon out of there. Get these out of here as well. There we go, Queen down. That one too. Now, I do not want those to run off on their own.
Make use of me.
Now let's... Getting a storm off on those small groups of Protoss, of Mutalisks, will be very, very effective. I'm going to queue up a load more units just in case.
Anytime you're ready.
So let's see.
Of course. For vengeance.
I don't know if it's Dragoons who have the longest sight range. That would make sense. So we want to get just on the cusp of vision.
Initiated. You must construct additional pylons.
Of course, there we go. I'm not going to mess around with floating loads of minerals. In fact, I'm going to cancel that one because I think that might be blocking off our route around. That should cover us. Now let's see if we can get a storm off here. That should do a lot of damage to any Mutalisk clustered around there. Oh, Tassadar, what are you doing?
Your will. I hear you. Yes, Executor.
Okay, let's bring these in as well. Of course. Those queens are the most annoying thing ever. But I think we can just push through with the Dragoons. Where's Tassadar? Where's the other Templar?
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Ah! Now that's unfortunate.
This should be good.
I think we're going to lose those.
Anytime you're ready.
But let's see if Tassadar can help.
Your warriors have engaged.
Come on.
Tarakala. Of course.
There we go.
Go ahead, Commander.
I don't know how we saw that. Did one of the scouts go? One of the scouts got pulled over, that's why. Oh, hello. Fortunately, we can deal with that Ultralisk quite easily. Let's get a load more.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Let's get... we can't get another scout to replace that one just yet. I think at this point we've got to push through, because that base is going to mine out.
Go ahead, Commander.
Load of Scourge there, in case you thought you could sneak through. Right.
Warriors have engaged
Anytime
the
you're
enemy.
Definitely a case for a storm if ever I saw one.
For Adun. Tarakala.
Want to keep my own units out of the storm. And in fact, you get those Hydralisks.
Warriors have engaged the enemy.
I think Where's Rainer?
Anytime you're ready.
I think we're through here. You got a storm? Tassadar's doing fine.
Anytime you're ready.
What's going on there? Those Dragoons can't take those on their own. Get the joy of Dragoon pathing here. Right, we're through. Let's wrap this one up. Guys, here we go.
You have my thanks, Executor. Now let us find
Job's a good one.
Zeratul and speed our way home.
And there we go. Thank you for watching, and we'll go over to the finish screen now. So, I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!